Chapter 5. Taking Action. Fang Yu finally turned his attention to the unconscious woman. Despite the streaks of blood and grime on her face, her breathtaking beauty was undeniable. What caught his attention even more was how strikingly similar her features were to those of a female friend he'd known many years ago, 7 or 8 out of 10, at least. Could she be her descendant? Fang Yu wondered to himself. Of course, it could also be a coincidence. Statistically, after so many years and with the Earth's population growth, it wasn't unusual for someone with a similar face to appear. But because of that familiar face, Fang Yu decided to save her. 10 minutes later, Fang Yu had dressed the woman's wound, stopped the bleeding, and called for an ambulance. By the time the ambulance arrived, Fang Yu was already gone. The medics lifted the woman onto a stretcher and rushed her to the hospital. Carrying his freshly picked vegetables, Fang Yu strolled back home leisurely. In Zhenghai City, at the Yang family estate, in the study, a stunningly beautiful woman, dressed in silk pajamas, reclined in a chair, gazing at the city lights outside the window. The phone on her desk rang, her delicate eyebrows furrowed as she picked it up. Miss Yang, the mission failed. Ji Rumei has been sent to the hospital. The Ji family has stationed heavy protection around her there, and we won't have another opportunity anytime soon. I only care about why the mission failed. Spare me the rest. The woman's voice was cold, laced with menace. We're still investigating the cause. From what we know, our 2 assassins had already eliminated Ji Rumei's bodyguards and forced her to jump out of her car on a mountain road near Jianan village. After that, we lost all contact with them, and Ji Rumei somehow ended up hearing this much. The woman immediately understood. Someone unexpected had intervened to save Ji Rumei. Otherwise, there was no way she would still be alive, let alone in a hospital. 3 days. I'm giving you 3 days to find out who saved Ji Rumei, the woman ordered. After hanging up, she picked up the wine glass on her desk with her pale, slender hand, swirling the deep red liquid inside. No matter who you are, if you dare to ruin my plans, I'll dig you out. Even if I have to turn the world upside down, she murmured with icy determination. The next morning, as Fang Yu entered the classroom, his eyes were immediately drawn to the back of the room, where an overturned desk and scattered books littered the floor. His own desk was nowhere to be found. Only a single chair remained where he usually sat. Most of his classmates looked at him with mocking smirks, while a few had expressions of faint sympathy. Fang Yu frowned slightly and asked, "Who did this?" No one answered. Fang Yu glanced around the classroom and asked again, "Can someone tell me who did this?" "Ugh, fine. Since you look so pitiful, I'll tell you. It was He Donglin and his gang," a pretty girl said impatiently. The girl was Zhang Yu, who had been considered the prettiest girl in class, 2 before Tang Xiaoru transferred. She was also one of He Donglin's ex-girlfriends. "Oh, it was him," Fang Yu said with a nod, looking toward He Donglin's seat, which was still empty. "So what if it was him? What are you going to do about it?" "Beat him up. When he gets here, you won't even dare to say a word." "Why are you acting all tough now?" "Just looking at you annoys me," Zhang Yu said sharply. Fang Yu glanced at her calmly. In his 2 years at Zhenghai High School, Fang Yu had been practically invisible in the class. He had never caused trouble or offended anyone. Yet Zhang Yu's tone toward him was filled with inexplicable disdain. "I don't think I've ever wronged you. Why are you talking to me like this?" Fang Yu asked. "Oh, I just don't like you." "What are you going to do about it?" "I'll say whatever I want to say." "Got a problem?" Zhang Yu replied, tilting her chin upward with an air of superiority. Since Tang Xiaoru transferred to their class yesterday, Zhang Yu had been in a terrible mood. She used to be the center of attention, but now all anyone talked about was Tang and Fang Yu, as Tang Xiaoru's deskmate, only made Jian Yu dislike him even more. To her, Fang Yu was an easy target, a nobody she could vent her frustrations on. Fang Yu chose not to argue with her and simply walked to his seat. Pathetic. Thinking you can get close to someone like Tang Xiaoru serves you right for getting taught a lesson by He Donglin. Zhang Yu shouted after him. Fang Yu sat down in his chair, without bothering to retrieve the desk that had been thrown to the back of the classroom. His classmates were either smirking or watching curiously. What's he doing? Waiting for someone else to bring his desk back? Or planning to tattle to the teacher? A few moments later, Lu Dong entered the classroom. Seeing the scene, he immediately understood what had happened. "Fang Yu, let me help you move your desk back," Liu Dong offered. "No need. When He Donglin gets here, I'll have him bring it back," Fang Yu replied. Lu Dong's expression shifted. "Fang Yu, just let it go. He Donglin isn't someone we can afford to mess with." Some of the nearby boys couldn't hold back their laughter. "Make He Donglin. Bring it back." "Fang Yu, I used to think you were just quiet and introverted. Now I see you're just stupid. Wait till He Donglin shows up. You'll regret it," one of them mocked. As soon as the words left his mouth, He Donglin walked into the classroom with his lackeys in tow, a bag slung over his shoulder. Noticing Fang Yu sitting alone at his chair, The group exchanged smirks of ridicule. He Donglin walked up to Fang Yu with an exaggerated look of surprise. Fang Yu, what happened to your desk? Someone said you threw it to the back. Fang Yu replied, tilting his head slightly and meeting He Donglin's gaze with calm, steady eyes. For a split second, He Donglin's heart skipped a beat as he made eye contact with Fang Yu's unnervingly blank stare. To his surprise, a faint sense of fear crept over him. But He Donglin quickly snapped out of it, feeling both ashamed and angry for his momentary fear. Fang Yu was nothing but a loser. Why the hell was he scared of him? Yes, I did it. So what? He Donglin shouted, dropping all pretense. Yesterday, I gave you enough face, but you didn't return the favor. If I don't teach you a lesson, you'll think I, He Donglin, am just for show. Move my desk back to its place, and put the books back on it neatly. I'll let it slide, Fang Yu said calmly. Hearing those words, not just He Donglin, but the entire class, was stunned. Let it slide. Did Fang Yu think he was someone important? Did he realize who he was talking to? Ha ha ha, Fang Yu, you're surprisingly amusing, He Donglin sneered. D***MNIT. Donglin, I can't hold back anymore. I really want to beat this guy to a pulp. Hu Dao, one of He Donglin's lackeys, clenched his fists in frustration. At the same time, He Donglin's lackeys surrounded Fang Yu. The majority of the class watched with mocking expressions, some even smirking in anticipation. Jiang Yu, in particular, was thrilled at the prospect of seeing Fang Yu get humiliated. Lu Dong, on the other hand, broke out in a cold sweat. He hurriedly left the classroom, running toward the teacher's office. He had to get the homeroom teacher, otherwise Fang Yu was in serious trouble. What did you just say? Say it again, He Donglin demanded, standing with his hands on his hips and looking down at Fang Yu. I told you to move my desk back to its place and to put the books, Fang Yu began. Shut the hell up. Before Fang Yu could finish, He Donglin's face twisted in rage as he swung his right hand, aiming a slap at Fang Yu's face. But in the next moment, his hand was caught in Fang Yu's iron grip, unable to move. You dare fight back? Hu Tao yelled, lifting his leg to kick Fang Yu in the chest. His foot, however, was also intercepted, firmly held in Fang Yu's grasp. You started this, Fang Yu said calmly, before flinging both of them away with a flick of his wrists. Bang! Bang! He Donglin and Hu Dao flew through the air, crashing into the empty space at the back of the classroom with two heavy thuds. What just happened? No one could process it. Meanwhile, Fang Yu walked to the back of the classroom, towering over the two dazed and disoriented boys. Move my desk back to its place, he said evenly. He Donglin, who had never suffered such humiliation before, turned pale with rage. Fang Yu, you son of a B****. How dare you lay a hand on me? I'll make you pay. Slay AAH. Fang Yu stepped on He Donglin's right hand and pressed down slightly. A sharp, searing pain shot through He Donglin's hand, and he let out a wail of agony. Move my desk back to its place, Fang Yu repeated, his tone unwavering. You son of a B****TC. You think you can AAH? He Donglin's curses turned into screams as his body convulsed in pain. Crack! The chilling sound of bones breaking echoed through the otherwise silent classroom. I'll say it one last time. Move my desk back to its place, Fang Yu said, his expression as emotionless as ever.